Today we're talking about, or really remembering, one of the most legendary bartenders behind the stick, Dick Bradsell. Bradsell passed away February 27th, 2016 from brain cancer at his home in London. And Bradsell is a really important figure in the British bartending scene, or at least the London bartending scene, because he was credited as the one that kind of pushed cocktails out of the dark ages and into their current form in London. Basically the Dale DeGroff of London. He has been likened to celebrity chefs, which is, there's probably only a handful of bartenders that have gotten close to that sort of iconic status. There's only actually two other ones that I can think about, for better or worse. Charles Schumann, who got in a little hot water a few years ago, and then Dale DeGroff himself. These three bartenders are the kings of the bar world because they were the ones that set the stage for younger bartenders to come in and really push the category of cocktails forward. Thank you to ZBiotics for sponsoring today's video. Now let me tell you something. If there's a surefire way to wake up feeling fresh after drinks with friends, it's with pre-alcohol. ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. So here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's a buildup of this byproduct, not dehydration, that is to blame for rough days after drinking. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make pre-alcohol your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and then you'll feel your best tomorrow for whatever you have to tackle. From the fairways in Augusta to the first pitch of baseball season and the start of festival circuits, April is a sprint of outdoor celebrations. Don't let a next day keep you sitting on the sidelines. Drink pre-alcohol to stay ahead of the game and make the most of every sunny Saturday. Go to zbiotics.com/educatedbarfly to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use Educated Barfly at checkout. ZBiotics is backed with a 100% money back guarantee, so there's absolutely nothing to lose. If you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Bada bing, bada boom. Who wins? You win. Bradsell created a bunch of modern classic cocktails, which is saying something because, you know, for something to become a modern classic is really difficult, especially in the age before the internet. He was bartending at a time where the internet wasn't even a whisper on anybody's lips, and yet his cocktails have traveled the world on different menus. Today we're going to be focusing on the three most prominent ones, but of course the Espresso Martini is probably his biggest contribution. That being said, he's had a lot of modern classics, and not many bartenders even have one. There's a couple of things about Dick Bradsell that you may not know, and one of them is that Dick Bradsell was actually in Christopher Nolan's very first movie following. He played a character called the Bald Man, which is a seedy underworld kind of mafia boss style dude that blackmails one of the main characters. So Dick Bradsell was not an actor, but when they were putting the movie together, the lead actor, a guy named Jeremy Theobald, who is the main actor in it, approached Bradsell about filming in his bar because they were doing this like super independent style, and that's how he came to be cast in the movie. And maybe Nolan just liked his look and cast him. But that's pretty cool. I said a couple of things you might not know about him, but then I thought the other thing that I had in mind that you don't know about him is like the main story that is always told about him. So I think everybody knows, you know, the creation story behind the Espresso Martini. And quite honestly, I've recounted this story so many times online, I don't know that I really even want to talk about it today. But if you do want to know all of that information, I'm going to stop talking about Nolan. I'm going to stop talking about Bradsell right now. One of the reasons why we even made this is because on YouTube there is a documentary about Bradsell called Espresso Martini mini documentary. It's on YouTube, and we were approached about it about a year ago or maybe a year and a half ago, and we have not made this video, so I really wanted to make it. It's a great documentary. You guys should watch it. I don't want to tell you too much more about him because I think you guys should just go watch the documentary. It is linked in the description below. The first cocktail is the Bramble. There are two different ways to make this drink. The first way is the Creme de Mure way. That's the way that Dick Bradsell created it. But there is, in modern bartending, the fresh berry Bramble, which is something that a lot of bartenders like to do. If you don't want to make Creme de Mure, you don't have access to Creme de Mure, you can use fresh blackberries crushed either in the tin, or I have also seen some bartenders crush it into the bottom of the glass and make the cocktail on top of it. I don't like the crushed glass version just because like when you're sipping through a straw, you will get particulate of stuff in your mouth. And a lot of people don't love that. I don't love that either. So, you know, take it for what it is, but a lot of people like crush it up in the tin, shake it. It is a pebble ice cocktail originally. So super simple. We're just going to cut up a lemon here. use that lemon. These are actually pretty juicy. I might just need the one actually. And then we're just gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. You have a decision to make here. If you want something that's a little more on the tart side to begin with and then balances a little bit better with the creme de mure, you'll do a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. Or if you're using 2 to 1, definitely use 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, but you could go up to 3/4 if, let's say your lemon is super tart for some reason, or you like a sweeter cocktail. We're gonna do 1/2 ounce of simple syrup and 2 ounces of your preferred gin. I'm using Silent Pool today because I think it's gonna go really well in this cocktail. I love this glass. I got it from Japan, and it is my favorite old-fashioned glass lately. Pretty gosh darn good. All right, about 1 ounce of pebble ice in there. Marry the cocktail in, and we're just gonna shake it until the pebble ice is mostly, if not fully dissolved, just to get the dilution going a little bit, get the chill going. But because this is a pebble ice cocktail, we don't want to chill and dilute too much so that we can keep the integrity of the cocktail throughout. We're just gonna dump it into our glass like so. And then we shall fill the rest of the glass with ice. Now here's the thing. We're gonna make a snow cone here, but we're gonna take our creme de mure and we're gonna pour it about 1/4 of an ounce on top like so. And then we're gonna do our snow cone. And to me, that's just the way this cocktail looks so much better, just like that. So that you have the red sort of encased in the top, you still have that nice snow cone effect, which I like.
And, we're not doing the fresh fruit garnish?
I don't have a blackberry because I picked up and didn't get one. Cheers. Yep. Oh my God, so goddamn good. There's just not that much in this world that is better than a lemon sour. And then when you put the creme de mure in there, especially if you make it yourself, you have this like dark fruit flavor just kind of come in right in the mid palate and sort of deepen the complexity of the cocktail. It is just so good. But God, just a lemon sour, just like a gin sour where you just get lemon, simple syrup, and then the complexity of the gin is so good. I mean, it's just obviously such a crushable cocktail. But the other thing that I think really bears mentioning is that the creme de mure, which has a little bit of wine in it, the way that we do it, has enough bitterness and some complexity in there that really plays into the botanicals of the gin very nicely. So there it is, the Bramble. The Espresso Martini, my absolute favorite cocktail on the face of the earth. This cocktail has seen a massive explosion in the last few years. It was also very popular when Dick Bradsell was alive still. And it is said that actually every single time the poor man walked into a bar, the bartender would want to present their version of the Espresso Martini to him. So within bartending circles, it has been famous basically since its inception. I think part of this though is that it is a cocktail that basically appeals to two different, very rabid followings, right? Because you've got the cocktail people and then you also have the coffee people, which is like a whole nother thing, right? Very easy, simple drink. We're just gonna do 1/4 ounce simple syrup, 1 ounce cold brew concentrate or espresso or whatever you're using. I never really understood the point of putting coffee and then coffee liqueur into something that already has vodka. Does this really do anything? I don't know, but it is the original recipe.
Yeah, because it's
just more coffee and vodka. It's just
and
more
sugar.
Like, why not just up this by 1/4 ounce and up that by 1/4 ounce, and then sugar and a little more sugar, and then just up everything by 1/4 of an ounce and get rid of this. Although I do like cutting in different liqueurs that aren't coffee, like banana or something that makes sense to me. 1/2 ounce of coffee liqueur, and then we're just gonna go 2 ounces of vodka. Just like that. We can use one of these because it's a higher volume cocktail, and this is one of our glasses too. We don't use them that often. And I love this glass. Oh, I totally forgot to tell everyone to give it a shaky poo. Now you'll know if you've aerated it properly if you foam the coffee up. And then the garnish is just 3 espresso beans. I don't even know why I would taste this. Should I taste this before we, let's just give it a taste real quick. Yep, booze and coffee, I did it correctly. I don't know what more you could possibly ask me to talk about it. What's nice about having the fresh coffee though is that you get some of the bittering notes of the coffee, which is, it's nice, but like a boozy coffee, what more could you possibly ask for? There it is, the Espresso Martini. Eat your heart out. The Treacle. is a cocktail named after a British dessert that is very popular. This cocktail is not as popular as the dessert, and I think that everyone's doing themselves a complete disservice because it is a fantastic cocktail. Originally, when I did this cocktail, I used cloudy apple juice, although in the original, Mr. Bradsell made a big deal out of using the clear stuff. So we're gonna actually do it properly this time. I don't actually think I've ever made this one properly. The other thing about this is, and I don't know why I have my phone here, but the other thing is about this cocktail is that Dick Bradsell didn't build it in a mixing glass. He built it straight into the glass that he serves it in, and that is a man after my own heart. Just saying. All right, so that's what we're gonna do, because I love that. So much more efficient, especially when you're working. People fall into this whole kind of like, well, but it's kind of a show and people want the show, and I completely understand that. But when you're busy, especially if you're working service well, you just need to knock things out. Building straight in the glass is the way to go for old-fashioned style cocktails. It just is. Don't argue with me. All right, so we're gonna do 2 dashes of Angostura bitters, or 4 from a Japanese bitter stasher, 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. We're using Myers because it's the original rum that was used, but you can use Jamaican dark rum for this cocktail. So we're gonna do 2 ounces of our rum. And the apple juice is afloat, which probably will float on this once we stir it. So I cut a rock of ice specifically for this drink. In a perfect world, you wanna let this sweat so it doesn't crack. I don't want it to crack. It might if I put it in there, but I'm gonna tempt fate here. And then we're just gonna give this, there it goes. Cracked a little, a lot, or the entire fucking thing just cracked.
Here.
Yeah, there you go. I knew it was gonna happen. I should have just let it sit.
But I mean, it does look.
It does look cool, and it also reforms. So like, for instance, if you just let this sit, you'll have the fissures in the ice, but it'll still remain cohesive. It won't break apart.
It looks more refreshing than one that is super clear where you don't even see that there's a cube in there.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. Yeah, like you do see like the little fissures in the ice and stuff. I like it better the other way, honestly. So if you don't want your ice to crack like that, let it sweat a little bit. And we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of the apple juice float. And if you did not know, apple juice and rum go together so well. We just float that on top. And then a little lemon twist. There you go, cheers. So fantastic. Lightly sweet, you get a little of that apple juice. The rum is nice and big on the palate, and you're getting the spice elements from the bitters, which also, then controls the sugar as well. So it's really nice, easy to drink. Does it taste like treacle? Maybe, yeah, maybe a little. Maybe it does a little. There it is, the treacle.
Treacle, I don't remember what it is, but it sounds disgusting.
It sounds disgusting because the word sounds disgusting to you?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
Wait, what do you mean? How does it sound disgusting if you don't even know what the fuck it is?
Medical procedure. We have to perform a treacle or he's gonna die.
You may have ruined treacle for me just now. I gotta say, I think that this is my most proud moment. Like, I actually finally have a copy of the book that I wrote. It took me a 1.5 years to write this book. I'm very proud of it. So I would just implore everyone to go buy a book. The more books you buy, the better it is for me, and then I can make another book for you guys. I'm already thinking about new books, but I'm just super proud of this, and I just hope that you guys really enjoy it. So go out. There is a genius link below this video and buy this book. I think you guys will really like it, and I worked really hard on it, and I love you guys, and you love me, and I love you, and you love me. It's a love fest over here, so pick up my book.